Hello, my name is Rane. I'm the founder and developer behind SoundMadeSeen, and I wanted to give you a little bit of a deep dive into the design editor. Now, the design editor is the tool you use to create your designs or modify existing templates, which can then be used to generate videos from your audio content. To get into the design editor, just click on Create a Design in the left navigation bar or the Create a Design link at the top of the My Designs page. From here, just name your design or keep the default name, then select the size you want to choose. So I'll enter a name here, and I'm going to select a square. I'm in the design editor now, as you can see, with a design in the square aspect ratio. Now, normally when you first load up the design editor, you'll see a short tutorial, but I'm here now. So I'll give you a brief tour starting with the canvas. Now, the canvas is this big square that you can see in the center of the screen. If I'd selected another aspect ratio, it'd be either a vertical or a horizontal rectangle, depending on whether you'd chosen portrait or landscape, but we have a square here, obviously. Now, the canvas is where you'll place all your text, your images, progress bars, etc., and where you see all your work start to take shape. To the left here, we have the zoom tool. If you click on the plus magnifying glass, it'll zoom in a little. If you click on the minus magnifying glass, it'll zoom out. Down the bottom, we have the move tool. This will move the canvas left or right, up or down. So if you need to sort of zoom in and do some fiddly little work, you can do that with these tools. At the top, we have a few buttons. So we have back at the top left. If you click on that, it will take you back to the previous screen. We have a delete or trash icon next to that. As you can see, it's grayed out. This is because we have nothing selected. When you've selected an object in the canvas, it will highlight and then you can delete whatever. You'll get a confirmation dialog. Next to that, we have the undo tool. This will undo any work you've done that you don't like, so you can get rid of it. But if you've changed your mind, you can then click on the redo tool to the right of it. And then we have the layers up and down tools. So you can move things up and down, you can move things in front of and behind other things. There are some caveats which I'll get to a little bit later. To the right here, we have the save button. I won't do anything with that right now. So we'll work our way down to the background tool. So if I click on that, we can see a fly out to the right. We have color at the top, so we can select a color here. Below that, we have a list of background videos that we can choose from. So if we click on one of these and there's a few options, they'll show up. So you can see there's a few here. I will click on Midnight Sun. I like this. That looks great. And now it appears in my canvas. As you can see, it's just a static image, but the final result in the video will be animated. I don't actually want a background video for this demo, so I'm just going to select the color tool. I'll choose a nice black color, click confirm, boom, it's gone. Next along, we have the image tool. Clicking on this will bring up the image dialog. So if I want, I can upload an image, include that. I can also drag a file onto here. Otherwise, I can click on this to open up a file dialog and select a file. Next to this, we have generate. So this uses AI to generate a nice background image. It will be the size of the canvas. To the right here, you can see a little shuffle icon. If I click on this, this will bring up a few random prompts. This looks like a nice one. These are all battle tested by me, so let's give it a go. And as you can see, it's generated 2 background images, so I have 2 to choose from. I like this one to the right, so I'll select that, and it will upscale it to the size of our canvas. Boom, there we go. Doesn't that look great? So from here, I'm going to move on to our next tool. We have our text tool. I can insert some text here. Let's say, this is amazing. I can choose a font. This is a nice chunky font. I can increase the size. And I'll center this. If I want, I can also add a border outline to it. What about a nice red color? I can make that a bit thicker if I like. Thicker still. And I can even change the angle by tipping it up a little bit, maybe even bigger. All right, I might bring this onto 2 lines and center it. Here we go. And I'll roughly put that in the center here. All right, next we have shapes. I'm going to select a nice square shape. And this is a trick I like to do. Sometimes if the background is quite bright, not necessarily in this case, it can make the text a bit hard to read. So what I like to do is to get a shape, and then I'll give it a border thickness of say 4, and then I'll give it a shape color, and we'll give it a nice dark blue, but we can also give it a little bit of transparency. So let's give this a go. Nice. And that way it's a little bit more readable. And this might actually be more appropriate for the subtitles, so I'll move this down the bottom. Oh, where am I going to put my waveform? We'll find out. All right, next I'm going to select the waveform tool. I am going to choose something to sit on the bottom, so let's choose this one. Now we have a snap to bottom, so boom, it's down the bottom. We can snap it to the sides if we like as well, but I'm quite happy with the way this looks. I'll select that again, and we can change the colors. So let's see what happens if I change this color. Nice, that's the bottom. Then next one up, go for blue. Let's go for a nice light blue. Nice, and then we'll keep the top white. That looks good to me. I mean, it looks pretty gaudy, but let's keep going. I'm not a designer, by the way. I'm gonna select a very simple progress bar, so we can snap that to the top and to the sides and choose a color. Let's make it a little kind of neon green. And I'll make that a little bit thinner, move it up a little bit. Finally, we have the subtitles tool. So I'm going to bring that up a bit. Now we have phrasing at the top here. So this can be single word, phrase, or page. I won't show that right now. Page is essentially karaoke style, and it fills up the size of the screen. So we won't use that. I will make the subtitles a little bit bigger, maybe too big there. How about I make this box a little bit wider? I'll make it nice and wide, just so we've got plenty of room there. Let's see if we can center it, and I might raise the subtitles. Subtitles will always be centered. I'll bring that down a little bit. As I mentioned, I'm not a designer. Okay, and maybe I'll bold it. Nice, beautiful. Now I did mention that we have the layer tool, so I can move layers up and down. There are caveats to that. Certain things will appear in certain orders. So the background color or background videos will always be at the back. We didn't show this in this session, but if you've uploaded your own video and then use that as a clip, that will show next in order. So you can have a background video and then your own video on top of that. Images will be on top of that. And then in front of those, we'll have shapes, subtitles, and text. And then finally, waveforms and progress bars right at the front. So those are just a few little rules that you might need to keep in mind when you create your video. We've been through our whole design. We're kind of happy with it. I mean, this kind of looks very gaudy, but let's go and save it. Alrighty, so now we're at the My Designed screen. You can see my design is showing here in the listing. I just wanted to bring you here so I could show you a few more little things. So first, we have the ability to rename the design. We can also copy our design. So if we want to make a copy and maybe we want to keep this original one as is, we can copy it and then make whatever changes we want. Then there's a delete design button next to that, and that will bring up a dialog box asking to confirm, and then we have the option of downloading this image that you can see here as a full-size image, and we can do that in our 3 different formats of JPEG, PNG or WebP just by clicking on the icon. Otherwise we can click on Use Design to go back and edit our design a little bit more. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you'd like to learn more, just head on to soundmadeseen.com and have a great rest of your day.